Ladies, let's be real for a second. How often have you heard that men are simple, that they only want one thing, and that their biggest desire is purely physical? Well, you've been lied to. Men are far more emotionally driven than they let on. Beneath that tough, logical, and sometimes distant exterior lies a heart that craves something much deeper than just physical intimacy. There are secret emotional triggers that, when activated, make a man fall harder, desire more intensely, and become completely hooked on you in a way that's nearly impossible to break. Yet most women never tap into this power. They focus on appearances, saying the right things, and playing the dating game in all the ways they think will attract him. But what if I told you that true, lasting, soul-binding attraction isn't about what you look like? It's about how you make him feel. There are 4 emotional turn-ons that are more powerful than sex. Yes, you heard that right. More powerful, more addicting, and more unforgettable. These are the keys to making a man see you as the one woman he cannot replace. The best part? They have nothing to do with manipulation and everything to do with authentic power. This isn't about tricks. This is about tapping into something real, something that will make him feel so emotionally drawn to you that no other woman will compare. By the time you finish this video, you'll understand how to activate a man's deepest desires in ways that will make him crave your presence, cherish your connection, and see you as the woman he's been waiting for his entire life. Trust me, you're going to want to stay until the end, because the last one is the most unexpected, yet the most powerful of them all. So, are you ready? Let's dive into the first emotional turn-on that men cannot resist. 1. The feeling of being respected and admired. Have you ever noticed how a man transforms when he feels deeply respected? His entire presence shifts, his posture straightens, his confidence rises, and his energy becomes more focused. He starts acting more like a leader, more like a protector, more like the man he truly wants to be. It's as if something within him awakens, something primal and powerful. This isn't just coincidence. It's because for a man, respect isn't just a nice thing to have. It's a requirement. It's the fuel that drives him, the foundation of his emotional well-being, and the secret to unlocking his deepest devotion to a woman. Yet, most women don't even realize the power they hold in this area. Most women assume that men are drawn to physical attraction above all else. They believe that if they look good enough, if they're charming enough, if they play the dating game just right, a man will stay hooked. But that's not the truth. Yes, physical attraction might get his attention, but it's respect that makes him stay. It's admiration that makes him commit. A man might enjoy spending time with a beautiful woman, but he will only fall deeply in love with a woman who makes him feel like a man. That's where real attraction happens, not in how you look, but in how you make him feel about himself when he's with you. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where a man was crazy about you at first, but over time he seemed to pull away? Maybe at the beginning he was all in, texting you first, planning dates, showing up for you in ways that made you feel special. But then something changed. His energy shifted. He became less engaged, less affectionate, maybe even distant. And you wondered, what went wrong? You questioned yourself. Was it something you did? Was he just losing interest? Was it inevitable? What if I told you that, in many cases, this happens because a man stops feeling admired? Because on some level he starts to feel that, in your eyes, he is not enough. Men do not stay emotionally connected to women who make them feel small. They do not stay invested in relationships where they feel criticized, belittled, or unseen. And they definitely do not feel passion for women who constantly remind them of their shortcomings. But when a man feels admired, when he feels like the woman he loves, sees his potential, respects his effort, and appreciates his value, that's when he feels deeply connected. That's when he looks at you differently. That's when he starts to feel obsessed with you, not just attracted to you. Here's where most women go wrong. They assume that admiration should only come when a man does something grand, when he lands a big promotion, achieves a major goal, or does something extraordinary. They believe that only then does he deserve admiration. But this is the mistake. A man's need for admiration isn't occasional, it's constant. He needs to feel seen in the small moments, in the everyday actions, in the quiet efforts that often go unnoticed. It's not about waiting for him to do something amazing. It's about making him feel amazing for simply being him. Think about this. A man does something simple. Maybe he fixes something around the house, or he makes a decision that helps you in some small way. If you barely acknowledge it, or worse, if you criticize it by saying something like, "You should have done that sooner," or "I could have done it myself," he doesn't just feel unappreciated, he feels unwanted. His instinct tells him, "I can never be good enough for her," and that thought kills his passion. But if instead you respond with, "Wow, I love that you just take care of things like that. It makes me feel safe," he hears something completely different. He hears admiration. He feels respected. He feels like a man. This isn't about stroking his ego or pretending to be impressed when you're not. It's about seeing him, acknowledging his effort, recognizing his strengths, and making sure he knows that what he does matters to you. Men don't need a woman who agrees with them on everything, but they do need a woman who makes them feel valued. They need a woman who believes in them. When a man feels that kind of admiration, he starts associating you with his best self. And when a man feels like the best version of himself around you, he never wants to lose you. Here's something incredibly powerful. Admiration works even if the man you're dating isn't at his best yet. In fact, that's when it works most. Because a man doesn't just want admiration for where he is, he wants admiration for where he's going. If you can see his potential before he fully steps into it, if you can believe in his growth before he reaches it, you become the woman he feels emotionally addicted to. You become the person who fuels his ambition, who makes him feel like he can conquer the world, and he will never, ever forget that. This is exactly why Love Stoic teaches that attraction isn't just about beauty. It's about the emotional experience you create for a man. It's about making him feel something so rare, so powerful, so deeply fulfilling, that he can't imagine life without you. This is where real power lies, not in playing games, not in controlling him, but in understanding his deepest emotional needs and meeting them in a way that is authentic to you. So now, I want you to ask yourself, have you ever seen the way a man's energy changes when he feels truly admired? Have you noticed how his confidence grows, how his actions become more intentional, how his passion for you deepens? Have you ever felt the power of making a man see himself through your eyes? Tell me in the comments, and if you're loving this insight, hit that like button and comment number 1 below. I want to know who's feeling this energy. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that right now, because the next emotional turn-on is something most women completely overlook. Yet it's the secret to creating a level of emotional connection that's deeper than anything physical. Stay tuned. 2. Emotional safety and acceptance. There's something about a man who lets down his guard for a woman. Something rare, something intimate, something that makes him feel a connection so deep it becomes unshakable. But here's the catch. Most men don't do this easily. Most men hold back. They hide parts of themselves, keep their emotions locked away, and refuse to show vulnerability. Do you know why? Because the world has told them over and over again that their emotions make them weak. From the time they were young boys, men are conditioned to suppress their feelings. They are taught that expressing sadness is unmanly, that showing fear makes them less of a leader, and that being vulnerable puts them at a disadvantage. Society tells them to be strong, to keep it together, and to never let emotions cloud their judgment. So, they build walls, not because they want to, but because they have to in order to survive. But what if I told you that when a man meets a woman who makes him feel emotionally safe, something inside him shifts? What if I told you that when he realizes he can be his real self with you, he experiences a type of attraction that is stronger than lust and more powerful than physical desire? Because let me be very clear, men are starved for emotional safety. They are desperate for a space where they don't have to be strong all the time, where they don't have to pretend they have it all figured out, where they don't have to hide their struggles. And when you give them that, it creates a bond so deep, so rare, and so unbreakable that no amount of beauty, charm, or flirtation could ever compare. Here's the real truth about men. They want to open up. They want to express themselves, but they are terrified of doing it with the wrong person. They fear judgment. They fear being seen as weak. They fear losing the very respect that fuels their identity as men. And so, they test the waters. They drop small hints, make subtle confessions, and offer tiny glimpses into their emotional world just to see how a woman will react. If she brushes it off, mocks it, or even worse, uses it against him in a future argument, he shuts down, not just in that moment, but permanently. But if he shares something vulnerable, something raw, something real, and he is met with acceptance, warmth, and understanding, everything changes. He realizes that with this woman, he can be fully himself. He doesn't have to pretend. He doesn't have to wear a mask. He doesn't have to be perfect. And do you know what happens when a man finds a woman who makes him feel like he can be his truest self, without fear? He falls hard. He forms an emotional attachment that is stronger than physical attraction, stronger than chemistry, stronger than logic itself. Because suddenly, you are not just a woman he desires, you are home. And here's where most women go wrong. They think they are creating emotional safety, but in reality, they are subtly making a man feel like he can't fully trust them with his emotions. And it happens in ways they don't even realize. It happens when he shares something personal, and instead of listening, she immediately tries to fix it. It happens when he expresses doubt, and instead of holding space, she tells him what he should do. It happens when he opens up about his past, and instead of accepting it, she questions him, analyzes him, or worse, uses it against him later. What most women don't realize is that men don't always want solutions. They don't always want advice. They don't always want to be told what to do. Sometimes they just want to be heard. They want to know that if they expose their deepest fears, their hidden insecurities, their childhood wounds, or their biggest regrets, the woman in front of them won't judge them for it. That she will simply be there, present, accepting, and understanding. And the irony, the more emotionally safe a man feels with you, the stronger he becomes. The more he steps into his masculinity, the more he rises in confidence, leadership, and his ability to be a provider and protector. Because when a man feels safe in a relationship, it doesn't make him weaker, it makes him unstoppable. This is exactly why Stoicism in love isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about creating a relationship where emotions can be processed, understood, and supported. A strong man doesn't need to hide his struggles. He needs a woman who knows how to hold space for them in a way that builds him up rather than tears him down. And when you become that woman, you tap into a part of his heart that no other woman has ever reached before. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever had a man open up to you about something personal, something deep, something he never talks about with anyone else? Did you notice the way he looked at you afterward? Did you see how it changed the way he felt about you? That's because emotional safety isn't just something men appreciate. it's something they fall in love with. And this is where I need to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, have you ever seen a man shift when he felt truly accepted? Have you ever experienced the difference between a man who trusts you emotionally versus one who keeps his walls up? Let's talk about it. If you're loving this insight, hit that like button and comment number 1 below. I want to know who's really feeling this energy. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that right now, because what I'm about to share next is one of the biggest mistakes women make when it comes to attraction. And trust me, you do not want to miss it. Stay tuned. 3. The thrill of feeling desired and chased. Have you ever wondered why some women seem to have men completely captivated, chasing after them, craving their attention, and addicted to their presence, while others, no matter how beautiful or kind they are, struggle to hold a man's interest? What if I told you that attraction isn't just about how much you like him, but about how much he feels you want him? What if I told you that one of the most powerful emotional turn-ons for a man is the thrill of feeling desired? You see, men are often portrayed as the hunters, the ones who always do the chasing, the ones who want to pursue, while women simply wait to be pursued. While there is truth to the idea that men enjoy the challenge, there's something deeper, something most women don't realize. Men also want to feel wanted. They want to feel chosen, not just tolerated. They want to feel craved, not just accepted. When a man senses that a woman genuinely desires him, not just for what he provides, not just because she's supposed to, but because she's drawn to him in a way she can't resist, it triggers something deep inside him. It makes him feel alive, masculine, powerful. It makes him want to give more, do more, and be more for that woman. But here's where most women go wrong. They either hold back their interest completely, playing too hard to get, to the point where a man isn't even sure if she likes him, or they over-pursue, making it too easy for him, removing any sense of challenge, excitement, or intrigue. The key is balance. The key is knowing when and how to show your desire in a way that makes a man crave more of you, rather than making him take your attention for granted. Let's break this down. Imagine a man is drawn to you. He likes your energy, your presence, the way you carry yourself. But if he never feels like you truly desire him, if he feels like you are simply allowing him to chase but you're not truly excited by him, he will eventually lose interest. Men don't just want to chase for the sake of chasing. They want to feel like they are winning something valuable. And the most valuable thing a man can win is a woman who sees him, desires him, and makes him feel like the most wanted man in the world. Now, this doesn't mean you have to throw yourself at him or constantly affirm your feelings. In fact, that's the mistake many women make. They think showing desire means over-expressing it, constantly reassuring him, constantly texting, constantly proving their interest. But that actually has the opposite effect. Instead of making a man feel desired, it makes him feel overwhelmed, like there's no excitement, no tension, no thrill. So how do you make a man feel deeply wanted without making it too easy for him? It's all about subtle, powerful signals that ignite his imagination and keep him thinking about you long after you've left the room. It's about the way you look at him when he's talking, the way you lean in just a little closer when you laugh, the way you brush against him lightly and let him wonder if it was intentional. It's about sending a flirty text, but leaving it open-ended so he has to make the next move. It's about telling him, "I love how you take charge," instead of simply saying, "I like you." One keeps him guessing, the other ends the mystery. This is what most women don't realize. Desire is fueled by uncertainty, not confusion, not mixed signals, but a sense of anticipation. If a man always knows exactly what's going to happen next, if he never has to wonder whether you're thinking about him, if there's no element of mystery, Then the excitement fades. But when he's not quite sure, when he feels wanted but challenged, when he gets a taste of your attention but still feels the need to win more, that's when he becomes emotionally hooked. Think about this. Have you ever had a man who seemed really into you at first, but then suddenly lost interest? Have you ever felt like things were too easy for him, like he didn't have to put in effort anymore? That's because when a man feels like he already has you, when there's no thrill of the chase, he starts to take the relationship for granted. But when you keep the balance between expressing desire and maintaining intrigue, he stays locked in, constantly wanting more of you. And here's where it gets even deeper. A man doesn't just want to feel desired in the early stages of dating. He wants to feel desired throughout the entire relationship. One of the biggest reasons men lose passion in long-term relationships isn't because they stop loving their partner, but because they stop feeling wanted. They start to feel like they are just there to provide, to support, to exist. But when a woman continues to make him feel chosen, craved and pursued, the relationship stays alive. So how do you do this? How do you make a man feel desired even after months or years together? You flirt like you just met. You tease him. You compliment him unexpectedly. You initiate intimacy, sometimes instead of always waiting for him to do it. You send a message in the middle of the day just to say, "I can't stop thinking about last night." You remind him, not with words but with energy, that he is still the man you want, that he still excites you, that he still makes your heart race. And this is exactly why love stoicism teaches that relationships aren't about chasing or being chased. They're about keeping the dance of desire alive. It's about understanding that a man doesn't just want to be the pursuer, he wants to feel pursued too. And when you master this balance, when you make a man feel both wanted and challenged, he will never stop craving you. So now I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed the difference between a man who feels desired and one who doesn't? Have you seen how it changes his energy, his passion, his level of effort? Let me know in the comments. And if this is resonating with you, hit that like button and comment number 1 below. Let me know you're feeling this energy. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now, because what I'm about to share next is the ultimate emotional trigger, the one thing that makes a man feel like he's found the one woman he can never replace. Stay tuned. 4. The joy of being with a woman who brings positive energy. Have you ever noticed how some people just have this magnetic presence? They walk into a room and suddenly the energy shifts. Conversations flow more easily, people laugh more, and there's a warmth around them that makes everyone feel good, especially the person they're with. Now, imagine how a man feels when he finds a woman who has that kind of light, playful, positive energy. It's not just attractive, it's addictive. It's the kind of thing that keeps a man coming back, that makes him crave your presence, that makes him feel like life is better with you in it. This is one of the biggest emotional turn-ons for men, being with a woman who makes him feel good just by being around her. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most powerful forces in attraction. Here's the truth. The way a man feels when he's around you is what determines how much he wants you. It's not about how you look. It's not about what you say. It's about the energy you bring into his life. Men are naturally drawn to women who radiate warmth, fun, and positivity, not because they need someone to entertain them, but because life is already filled with stress, challenges, and responsibilities. They don't want their relationship to feel like another burden. They want it to be a source of joy, excitement, and peace. When a man associates you with positive emotions, he feels an emotional high every time he's with you. Once a man experiences that feeling, he wants more of it. He needs more of it. And that's when he starts seeing you as irreplaceable. But here's the problem. Most people go through life carrying negative energy without even realizing it. They bring stress from work into their relationships. They focus more on what's wrong than what's right. They let small frustrations turn into complaints, and before they know it, the energy of the relationship shifts. Instead of being a source of joy, it becomes a source of tension. Instead of feeling excited to see you, he starts feeling drained. And the moment a man starts feeling like being with you is draining rather than uplifting, the attraction begins to fade. That's why the women who keep men obsessed aren't the ones who are the most beautiful, the most successful, or the most perfect. They're the ones who make a man feel good when he's with them. They're the ones who laugh easily, who don't take life too seriously, who know how to find the fun in any situation. They bring a sense of lightness, and that makes a man breathe easier when he's with them. Think about it this way. Imagine a man comes home after a long, stressful day. He's exhausted, mentally drained, maybe even frustrated with something that happened at work. Now, he sees two different types of reactions from his woman. Scenario 1. He walks in, and the first thing she does is start venting about her own stress. She complains about something small that annoyed her. She brings more tension into the space, even though she doesn't mean to. The energy becomes heavy. Scenario 2. He walks in, and the first thing she does is give him a warm smile. Maybe she cracks a joke, maybe she playfully teases him, or maybe she just gives him a few minutes to relax before diving into any serious conversation. The energy is lighter, and suddenly he feels like being with her is an escape from stress, not another source of it. Which scenario do you think he's going to crave? Which one makes him feel like this woman is his safe place, his happiness, his joy? Now, this doesn't mean you have to be happy all the time. This isn't about faking positivity or pretending life is always perfect. It's about knowing how to bring more lightness into your interactions. It's about shifting your focus from what's wrong to what's right. It's about finding ways to laugh together, play together, and enjoy each other's presence, even in the middle of life's challenges. And here's the most powerful part. When you bring positive energy into a relationship, it doesn't just affect him, it affects you too. When you choose to focus on joy, playfulness, and appreciation, you start feeling better, thinking better, living better. Your confidence grows, your magnetism increases. You become the kind of woman that men don't just want to be with, they feel lucky to be with. This is exactly why love Stoics teach that attraction isn't just about chemistry, it's about the emotional experience you create. A woman who understands the power of energy and emotion will always be more desirable than a woman who only focuses on looks. Because at the end of the day, a man doesn't just want a girlfriend. He wants a woman who makes his life better, easier, and more joyful. So now tell me in the comments, have you ever noticed the difference between being around someone with positive energy versus someone who brings negative energy? Have you ever seen how it affects attraction, how it changes the way people respond to you? Let's talk about it. And if you're loving this insight, hit that like button and comment number 1 below. I want to know who's really feeling this. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now, because the next thing I'm about to share will take everything we've talked about to the next level. Stay tuned. So now you know, the secret to truly captivating a man isn't just about how you look or what you say. It's about how you make him feel. It's about activating his deepest emotional desires in a way that most women completely overlook. When a man feels respected and admired, when he experiences emotional safety and acceptance, when he senses your genuine desire for him, and when he associates you with joy, excitement, and positive energy, he doesn't just feel attracted to you, he feels emotionally addicted to you. He sees you as the one woman he can't replace, the one woman he wants to commit to, cherish, and protect. Think about it. How often do we focus on external things? believing that attraction is about saying the right words, playing the right games, or looking a certain way. But in reality, the women who effortlessly hold a man's heart are the ones who understand these 4 emotional turn-ons. They know that men don't just crave physical connection, they crave an emotional experience that makes them feel more alive, more powerful, and more deeply connected than they ever have before. And the best part, these aren't tricks. These aren't manipulations. They are about real connection, real depth, and real understanding. They are about bringing out the best in a man while also standing in your own power as a woman. So now I have a question for you. Which of these emotional turn-ons do you think you've already mastered, and which one do you feel you need to work on more? Let's talk about it in the comments. Hit that like button and comment number 1 below if this video resonated with you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time, because I have so much more to share that will completely transform the way you approach attraction, dating, and relationships. Thank you for watching, and remember, when you master a man's emotions, you master his heart. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.